It will be red. It will be the Brawley choice. Castaneda to pick the neutral position, and both wrestlers will stand to begin the second period.
Smart choice choosing up, don't you think, for this Brawley
Absolutely. And then a nice little ankle single there by Castaneda as he gets down low and gets deep penetration in on Tim Boone as he hopes to get on the scoreboard here and make something happen in the second period as the Brawley wrestler trails by a score of 11-0. Countered nicely by Boone, and there will be a stalemate. Both wrestlers back on their feet, so a deep single leg results in 0 points for Castaneda as he trails in the second period of the 125-pound division, 11-0. There's a little throw-by there by Castaneda, and it looks like he has an opportunity for a 2-point takedown here, but Boone fighting hard there. He does not want to give up a single point here, Jason, even though it appears that Castaneda has him dead to rights for the 2-point takedown here.
I thought he had a takedown, and look at that. Boone gets the stalemate. Pretty slick wrestler here.
Unbelievable. Back on their feet now as the stalemate is awarded to Boone. And again, Castaneda has a headlock in. Wrestler's down the mat trying to spin around and grab the knee, and then he's going to spin back to the left side. Kind of unorthodox move there. Now both wrestlers back on their feet. And fireman's carry by Boone, who dumps Castaneda and then gets his head out, and he's going to try and turn Castaneda, and he does. He's going to get the takedown. Now trying to work in the cradle. If he can get that cradle together with 45 seconds to go in the second period, he has an opportunity to accumulate even more points now as Tim Boone leads 13-0, and there are the back points as he's got the cradle in, and Castaneda is slammed to the mat, and there is the pin. It is a second period pin for Timmy Boone as he wins it with the pin in the second period. He is the 125-pound Masters champion, Tim Boone. Congratulations.
That was pure domination there on that one, Todd.
Today's wrestling is being brought to you by AllProStickers.com. For banners, business cards, and any signage you might need, contact Mike McGrath and his team at 619-994-6335. That's AllProStickers.com. Todd Salkowski, along with Jason Hendrick here at San Ysidro High School. Masters Championship. It's the 130-pound division. And again, it is Poway versus Brawley. Ivan Arevalo taking on Joey Boone, both seniors. Boone comes in with a record of 36-3. Meanwhile, Arevalo with a record of 36-4. Boone got here to the championship with a 5-1 win in the semifinals. Arevalo with a 5-3 win over Matt Starbeck from Mount Carmel. Both wrestlers in the first period tied up at the middle of the mat. And Arevalo, Boone has got a deep single in, trying to spin around. Countered very nicely there by Arevalo, who is fighting, and then getting behind him is Boone, and then Boone takes him down to the mat as he slipped behind Arevalo. Then he tripped him up, brought him down to the mat. It's a 2-1 lead for Joey Boone, and there was a point awarded earlier, Jason. Can you fill us in what happened? How did Arevalo get that point?
Looks like the Poway wrestler, Joey Boone, I think he either came out too rough or something, and the referee didn't like it and awarded Arevalo a point. And
meanwhile, like Boone has a deep half Nelson in, and he turns over Arevalo, and they're going to call potentially dangerous, I would assume, and stop Boone from turning over Arevalo. He had it a deep half Nelson, and Coach Brandsatter from Poway takes off his hat, almost slams it to the mat, saying, "What's going on out there? My guy had an opportunity to pin this young man from Brawley, and you're stopping him from that opportunity."
That was one of the deepest half Nelsons I've ever seen. It looked like he had a wing as well, and I'm not sure why they stopped it, but potentially dangerous was the call from the referee.
And you have to give the referees credit. They have to protect these wrestlers. And obviously, they decided that it was a potentially dangerous move, and they decided to stop the action. And there's going to be a caution there on a false start. And that caution will go against Boone. And now the whistle begins. 1 minute to go here in the first period of action. Joey Boone, the number 1 seed, leading by a score of 2-1. And then he gets in another half Nelson. He has an arm bar and a half Nelson. And trying to turn on the right side, trying to turn over Arevalo. And he does get Arevalo over. Arevalo fighting for his life. He bridges but Boone is going to get back points there. Great back points there, as he's going to get 3 here with 35 seconds to go. Now Audavalo from Brawley has got a bridge to stay away from the first period pin here. 25 seconds to go. Boone is going to get the full allotment of back points, 3 total. He now leads 5-1 over Audavalo as Audavalo gets off his back to his knees, but Boone's still riding him as we count down to 10 seconds to go here in the first period. Now both wrestlers on their feet as they go out of bounds. The whistle sounds and they will go back for a restart. The Brawley wrestler on bottom, Joey Boone on top. And the horn will sound ending the first period of action. And after 1 period, it is Joey Boone leading Ivan Audavalo by a score of 5-1. Todd Salkowski along with Jason Hendrick here on KBCSports.com, your home for high school sports. And we'll let you folks know you can buy a DVD of today's wrestling event in our KBC Sports store. Click on Order Recordings in your Windows Media Player, or go right to the store itself under under Wrestling Video. You can order the game of your choice. Have a match that lasts a lifetime. Brought to you by KBCSports.com. Second period action now, and Boone took bottom, and he gets a quick escape there. He now leads 6-1, and a nice little dump there by Joey Boone. What was that, Jay? Was that a little fireman's carry?
That was a shooting in fireman's carry. It's very, very slick. Love that move. And this kid, Boone, has got it down pat. That was very, very slick.
The 2-point takedown adds to his point total. It is now an 8-1 lead for Joey Boone over Audavalo. And now he's got the chicken wing in and the arm bar in. Again, looking to turn him over. Could be another potentially dangerous there. And no, he's going to get the back points. And looking for the pin. And there's the pin. Just like his brother, Joey Boone gets a second period pin. He is the 130-pound Masters champion for Poway. Boy, these Boone brothers really are something, Jason.
Yeah, they look very, very impressive. Looks like they've been wrestling for years. Very, very well done by the Boone brothers.
Well, it is quite the program at Poway, as we discussed a little bit last week. And it has just been an incredible, incredible season for Coach Wayne Brandsetter, who's going to send all 14 wrestlers to the States next year. So his entire team, next week, his entire team will be there. And now we move on to the 135-pound division championship. It will be Steven Alvarez from Helix taking on Elliot Dennis from La Costa Canyon. So it'll be La Costa Canyon in the gold singlet against Steven Alvarez from Helix in the green singlet. Both wrestlers out there. Whistle is blown, and they are at the center circle, grappling and wrestling. Headlock in there by Elliot. Elliot trying to spin his way around. And this is about the first match in 4 that we haven't seen a Poway wrestler out there, Jason.
Right. Still green and silver. It looks like Helix has got the same colors as Poway, but
some fast and furious action there as Elliot Dennis got a quick takedown, and then just like that, Alvarez escaped for one, and both wrestlers are now going to be on their feet. So it's 2-1. Quick takedown by Elliot Dennis, and then Alvarez came right back out and got to the escape. Both wrestlers on their feet now. It's 2-1, Elliot Dennis from LCC. Wrestlers feeling each other out at the center of the mat. And working, trying to get the high single in there is Alvarez, but countered very nicely by Dennis. And Dennis has an armbar on as he sprawls out here, trying to get a 2-point takedown with 1 minute to go in the match. 135-pound division. The winner will be the Masters champion. Looks like a stalemate situation here, but trying to spin around to get that 2-point takedown, and there he's going to get the 2-point takedown. There's Elliot Dennis, but no, they're waving it off. There it is. There's the 2-pointer there. Dennis now leads by a score of 4-1 with 35 seconds to go in the first period. He just kept at it there, Jason, and he finally got the 2-point takedown there with the nice spin around there. Now he has an arm bar on one side as he tries to turn over Alvarez. Alvarez comes into this match with a record of 34-3.
It's impressive. 3 losses for the year. Very, very impressive.
10 seconds to go here in the first period. Elliot Dennis from LCC. The senior leads by a score of 4-1. And there's a nice little roll there and trying to get an escape there, and a nice Granby roll there, but no points awarded there. Unbelievable action as the wrestlers are rolling and rolling. Great little Granby roll there by Alvarez, but no points awarded. We begin the second period of action in 135-pound division with the score 4-1, Elliot Dennis over Alvarez. Alvarez on bottom to begin the second period. There's the whistle. Riding on the right side is Dennis. Dennis trying to get that arm there, get the right arm of Alvarez. Alvarez is going to do a sit-out and get an escape there. Very nice, Jason. It's now 4-2.
So Alvarez keeps on he has a lot of Granbys, a lot of slick little stand-up switches. He's really pretty slick from the bottom getting out of there.
4-2 here. Both wrestlers on their feet in the second period. 135-pound division. They will come back to the center as they both shuttle and shuffle to the out of bounds. The whistle blows and a restart on the center as they are both on their feet. It's a LCC lead there as a fireman's carry and a high crotch move there by Alvarez, and he's going to try and slip under, but countered nicely there by Elliot Dennis as both wrestlers on their feet here in the second period of action. 1 minute to go in the second period. We've got a real close one here in the 135-pound division. Todd Salkowski along with Jason Hendrick here on KBCSports.com, your home for high school sports and the Masters Wrestling Championship. Wrestlers continue on their feet here. A little bit of a slow action here as they plot and plan. Now they are separated. Before they were wrapped up, trying to make something happen. Going for the single leg there is Elliot Dennis. He can't get it. Sprawled out nicely and defended is Steven Alvarez. As both wrestlers sprawled out, but they are tied up in a headlock. No points awarded with 20 seconds to go in the second period of action.
That's kind of bizarre, Todd. You don't really see both wrestlers having headlocks together at the same time from the bottom position.
A stalemate is called, and they will go back to their feet. 10 seconds left in the second period. And a nice little spin around there by Alvarez after the armbar up top was in there by Elliot Dennis, and Alvarez almost had a nice little takedown there.
Todd, that was a little tricksy movie. The LCC kid had a Russian on, and all Alvarez did was just totally spin around his body and go for the takedown.
Absolutely, he almost got it there. Meanwhile, it is Dennis who started this third period on bottom with a 4-2 lead. He immediately gets up and gets the 1-point escape. He leads 5-2. Now working for a 2-point takedown, but the wrestler's too close to the out-of-bounds marker. And even though Elliot Dennis was in deep, he does not get the 2-point takedown. It is 5-2, La Costa Canyon here in the 135-pound division. And both wrestlers tied up at the edge of the mat once again. Steven Alvarez from Helix trying to make something happen here. And they spin out of bounds. There's the whistle, and they will begin again on their feet in the middle of the mat with Elliot Dennis from LCC leading 5-2. This time he gets a single leg in, then switches to a double. Nice takedown opportunity if he can get it, and he's got it in deep, Jason. I think he's going to get it, and he does get the 2-point takedown there. Very quick. Went to the single, switched over to the double leg. That was, we've been saying it all day, but that was certainly textbook as Elliot Dennis adds 2 more to his point total. He leads 7-2 with 1 minute to go in the match over Steven Alvarez from Helix.
Single to a double. Very, very nice takedown by the LCC kid here.
Elliot Dennis, the number 2 seed in 135-pound division. He got to the championship match by taking down Mark Flores from Poway. So you know he is battle-tested if he beat a Poway wrestler. Meanwhile, Alvarez took down the number 1 seed, John Mossy, from Santa Fe Christian by a score of 6-5. And we've got a injury timeout, it looks like, out on the mat. And while we have that timeout, we want to let you know that tonight's live Masters coverage on KBCSports.com is being brought to you by the San Diego Wrestling Association, and they would like to present Mr. Richard Bailey with a Lifetime Achievement Award for 25 years of dedicated service. Mr. Dick Bailey, you have earned the respect and gratitude of the entire wrestling community. 51 seconds to go in the match. A commanding 7-2 lead for Elliot Dennis from LCC, and he is on top here. And a quick Granby roll by Alvarez is countered by Dennis. And now on their feet, trying to get the escape there, is Alvarez. And holding on, not wanting to give up an escape, is Elliot Dennis. And it looks like we're going to have, as both wrestlers do, I think they would have had a stalemate call there, but both wrestlers roll out of bounds there. 32 seconds, a restart at the center mat. Dennis on top, Alvarez on bottom.
Alvarez is going to need to do something here with 27 seconds left. He's going to have to get up, escape, and try to go for the throw here.
As he gets up to his feet, but holding on tightly, Elliot Dennis. Dennis, coached by Dwayne Booth, another former California State champion.
Yes, Dwayne Booth wrestled at Mount Miguel High School. I actually watched him as a kid. Very, very great wrestler from Mount Miguel, and he's one of the nicest human beings out there.
Absolutely. In 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1, the buzzer will sound, and riding out the final period will be Elliot Dennis. Dennis is the champion at 135 pounds as he takes down Steven Alvarez by a score of 7-2. Todd Selkowski along with Jason Hendrick here on KBCSports.com, your home for high school sports. 140-pounders now. We go back to Poway. Brad Robinson, the junior of the Titans, comes in with a record of 35-7. He will take on Cody Sievers, the senior from Ramona. Sievers comes in with a record of 38-5. Poway again in the all Kelly green uniform. Poway on the backside, silver piping on the singlet. And we mentioned the Ramona uniforms. Total white, blue side panels, and a bulldog print on the backside. Both wrestlers on their feet, working each other over. Whistle is sounded to begin the first period of action. And a fake to the single leg there, countered nicely there by Sievers, as both wrestlers are tied up near the edge of the mat. And it is Sievers having a little trouble with his headgear there. No score here. First period of action. 140-pound division. Tied up at the center.
Todd, how about the bleach blonde hair with the stars in the hair of Cody Sievers of Ramona?
Cody Sievers certainly very dynamic with his outfit there. And there's a deep single leg there in by Robinson. Robinson now has him up, and then he throws him down in a nice move there by Sievers. And Sievers just flipped around and got out of a potentially dangerous move as the wrestlers still fight here with 1 minute to go. And slipping under for the 2-point takedown is Brad Robinson. And credit Cody Sievers for the nice counter there, Jason. He looked like he was going to be thrown to his back, but he just flipped out of it before eventually Brad Robinson gets the 2-point takedown here in the first period of action.
It's a popular move that came about 5 years ago. What kids are doing is they're rolling. They're actually flipping when they have like a single leg like that and trying to get out. But you're not going to get past that with a Poway wrestler. They're very well rehearsed on those kind of moves.
So when a wrestler counters, the Poways counter the counters.
They are counter machines. I mean, you're not going to get that, especially at this level. Masters, state level, you're not going to be able to get those kind of moves, although I've seen it sometimes.
Nothing's going to fool him. Brad Robinson continues to ride out Cody Sievers as we wind down here in the first period of action. It is a 2-0 lead for Brad Robinson, 140-pound division. Now Robinson has in the armbar, and he's trying to turn over Cody Sievers here. And he's going to turn him over, and he's going to get a couple of back points there, it looks like. Wow, 2 back points. It's 4-0 Brad Robinson, and what a heartbreak there for Cody Sievers. He only had a couple of seconds to go before the end of the first period. If he could have avoided that near fall, he would have had an opportunity to start the second period down only 2-0. Meanwhile, the coin is flipped. Robinson has the opportunity for choice. He defers to Sievers. Sievers takes the neutral position. Both wrestlers on their feet to begin the second period of action. Brad Robinson leads Cody Sievers by a score of 4-0. Both wrestlers on their feet now. Grappling right at the center. And they are tied up at the center of the mat. Todd Salkowski along with Jason Hendrick here on KBCSports.com. And a deep single leg there and a dump there by Robinson. And another takedown for the Poway Jr. He now leads 6-0. What a perfectly executed single leg to the step back dump. Puts Sievers on his seat. And then he gets the 2-point takedown. Now Sievers has to be dejected there as he mans the bottom position. And it will be Robinson on top, leading by a score of 6-0 here in the second period of action. Working the armbar there after the whistle.
These Poway wrestlers with 3 state championships. They have 14 wrestlers going, 10 in the finals tonight. They are pure dominance in the state of California.
Armbar is in for Sievers. Excuse me. Robinson has that armbar in. Robinson riding that armbar hard. Sievers flat on the mat. And now he's going to get the other arm. Trying to get control of the other arm is Brad Robinson. And if he could do that, he is going to have a nice opportunity to turn over Cody Sievers. Sievers flat on his stomach. 45 seconds to go. Armbar is in, switching to the armbar on the half Nelson, but countered very nicely there by Cody Sievers. And the referees may lose their patience here in a moment and issue a stalemate or a stall here, Jason.
Todd, it looks like the Poway wrestlers are all over those armbar and half Nelsons. As you've seen, a couple of the wrestlers have been pinned by it. It looks like they've been going over that big time here.
Well, according to Dale Hanover, who we've done some work with from Poway, the turkey bar, as he likes to call it,
yeah, turkey bar.
He says that the turkey bars that Poway uses, that they work on that all the time, and that is their bread and butter when it comes to turning over wrestlers.
You ever had a turkey bar put on you, Todd?
I try to avoid it at all costs.
It kills your ribs, let me tell you. But I love that move. That's a great move. Easy points.
Second period of action, 10 seconds to go. It is a 6-0 lead for Brad Robinson over Cody Sievers. Wrestlers in a stalemate now as they are down on the mat and trying to work his way out is Sievers, and the buzzer will sound ending the second period of action. Robinson leads by a score of 6-0. He will have his choice for the third period, and he will choose down, the down position. It will be Cody Sievers from Ramona, comes in with a